Right, I'm gonna do a thing today about a thing called counter change. Now, that's not when you buy something off at counter, give them some money and they give you change. That's what I thought it was, but it isn't. Right, it's like this. I'm looking at this here. Now, I want to make that stand out a little bit more, so I'm going to use counter change to do it. So what I'm going to do, see how I've got, I'll just use this to point with, how I've got dark there and light there. That's how it was on my photo what I took. Right, so I'm going to do the opposite here. I'm going to have dark there on this grass and light there to make it stand out. So that's counter change to there, and that'll be counter change to there. So there ain't no money. It's got nothing to do with money. It's to do with paintings and that, innit? Right, so it's also a bit of a lesson in washing out, because probably, let me get my other here, my reading glasses. Yeah, so I'm going to wash a bit of colour out down here, so I hope my hand didn't play. So see that there, I'm just giving it a gentle little rub there, look. And I'm going to wash a bit of colour out and just fade that colour out there like that. I'll get a dab with my thing in a minute, that bit there, just into there, like that. Wash all this colour out across, probably right across there like that, all quite light. I'm just taking a bit of colour out. Right, where's my dabber? You need to dab, I think. Dee. Oh, that's good, that's took that bit of colour out around there. I'm going to take more out than that. Another wash my brush. Take a bit more out. That's it. Dee. There. That's looking good. Let me now wipe my brush and try and rub it off with my brush. I've got to, because this is cheap paper, I might end up damaging my paper slightly, but even that, when it dries, you can't tell you've damaged your paper. Yeah, there's a slight bit of paper coming out with my colour. But if you've got a little cheap cartridge paper and that happens, don't worry too much, it'll be alright. Once it dries, you can't tell. And all these little, see the little tiny dots where it's damaged the paper, you just wait till it's dry and then you just flick them off and they're alright. So that's looking pretty light now. A bit more, tiny bit lighter. There we are. That's it. That's looking good to me. I think I'll just dab it this time. Oh yeah, that's brilliant. So that's giving me a nice light bit there. See how that stands out a lot more now. And what I'm thinking, because this bit here is dark, I think I'm going to blend dark in on that bit, and that'll give me my counter change. Right, so let's have a go at that then. So I'm going to damp my paper first, because I want this colour to spread out. So if I put that around there like that to dampen it, so it spreads out. Right, let's have a look. Let's get a nice dark colour. Now I'm just going to soften that out across. The more I soften it out, the less you'll sort of see what I've tried to do. It'll just look more natural. That's it. Oh, yes, look at that. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, that looks quite natural to me. So, let it dry a tiny bit and then just keep adding more in, I think. Might try and get an even darker green. Try and mix an even darker one. And I'll just keep building it up to a thicker green, and that'll make it look darker as well. So that's a nice green what I've got on there. Let's try that, see if I can get it to work. So I'm going even darker now on this top bit. That's looking good to me. And it's good because it's just diffusing out into the rest of the picture. Add a bit of water to it and blend it across this way a bit. More water. Plenty of water to blend it across. I've got to be careful with the top bit, because if I put too much water in that top bit, the water will run down and weaken the bottom bit. So you've got to be careful. There, that's not looking bad, is it? That's made that stand out more. I'm going to let that dry and have another look in a minute. In the meantime, I might put some little, I've got some pictures of some distant cows. I'll get my photo up in a minute. I'll just use it as a reference. I might put some distant cows in this field. My coffee's good today. Oh, there's some there. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, let's do that. So, probably going to need a equal brush. Where's that brush I've just had? Lost my, what's there? Lost my brush. Right, let's get some dark colours then. Next, my cows. On the photo, because I suppose some cows are a dark brown. On my photo, they are looking pretty much black. Let's mix some black up for my cows, that's sound. And I need some white. So I've got my designer's white gouache. So get some water in there. This is just a hard lump of paint what's dried out. So I'm just adding some water, mixing it up at a minute. That'll do me my white gouache for me. My cows. Right, I think probably quite far away, so I think I'm going to need a smaller brush than what I've just had. Let's try that one. Right, what shall I do first? White or black? I'm going to go black. Yeah, right. There's loads of them grouped together, so I'm just going to come in. They're quite small. It's like they look like that. They're just all grouped together like that. Loads of them. So there's no point in trying to go much detail out. A few more grouped together. I'll try and get a few what's sort of looking. They're off on their own. Yeah, I suppose I ought to have a few spaced out, didn't I? When I say spaced out, I don't mean drunk. There, something like that. So a few odd ones just up there. So the main bulk's there, leading my eye into the arse. If I'm looking at that now, my eye's going there that way, and that's what I want. So that's good. Right. Yeah. Right. Let me get me hair dryer. It's dry. got this dark on here, I'm going to come in and just even darken this slightly on this edge. Just to help me with a bit of this counter change. Bit outside there. That's probably enough. I just add that tiny bit more dark in. There's some dark bits under these bits here. I'll bring that a bit out a little bit more. That there. Oh, there. Yeah. That'll do. Just helping it stand out a tiny bit more. Yeah. Right. White. Need me white now. Oh, should I put? No, let's get me white in, and then I might have a think about perhaps some shadows underneath things. But for now, let's just stick me white in. Now, trouble with this white is it fades back a lot. So I've got to be aware of that. Right, let's have a go. So in here, I'm just going to stick bits of white anyway. It's just the black and white patches on my cows. I think I'll take a little dry on that just to see how it's worked. Oh, some more coffee. Little dry. Seems to work pretty good. I'm going to get another brush just so I can leave me white paint on that one, but I'm going to try and just do a little bit of shadow colour underneath, so I use a bit of that colour. Let's just get a bit of shadows underneath some of this stuff, just to something like that, just to get a bit of shadows there, a bit of shadows underneath all these. It just makes it sit better. There we are. Tiny bits of shadows there. Yeah, something like that. There. Looks okay to me, I think. Give that a tiny try. I think that's looking pretty good. In with some extra whites, but probably don't really need to, I suppose. Yeah, it's looking alright to me, this, I think. I'll just leave it. There we are. So, nice bit of counter change on there, making that stand out more. Put some little sheeps in fields, cows. They're little cows right in distant, they're far away, they're just little specks. I've not had to do the shape of cows. There's a big group there, some others dotted about. They're quite far away. You imagine the size of that big, massive, that's a great big house. That's a great big fence. Hedgerows, eye bushes and that. The cows aren't very big. So I'm quite happy with that. I'll see thou on beach tomorrow. Eat it.